Good morning, beloveds. So, it is March 31st. It is the last day that we are in 365 Science of Mind. We are moving to a new book tomorrow. I know it's April Fool's Day, but we are moving to a new book. We are going to do 365 Days of Virtual Living, also by Ernest Holmes, and this time by Raymond Charles Barker. I started this about the last week of May in 2020, and I think it was very helpful for me. Because every morning, it literally is a spiritual practice. Every morning I would get up, I would do the reading, and then I would think about it, and I would think out loud to you guys. And so hopefully y'all got something out of it too. I know that I did. And I'm currently being mauled by one of my cats right now. So I'm about to have to take my hand away from him so that I can do the last day of 365 Science of Mind. And so we'll discover the book together tomorrow. All right. And remember, March was the month of faith. And March 31st is substance and supply. Spiritual mind science cannot promise something for nothing. It does not teach that you can have everything you want, no matter what it is, or that your thought can precipitate $1 million. It does, however, teach, and it can demonstrate, that a betterment of circumstances and conditions and relationships can be brought about through spiritual mind treatment. We believe that the great intelligence of the universe cannot lack for anything, or that it can plan for its creation to lack what expresses its own being. We may be certain that the divine intends only good, only abundance for its creation, because it is the very essence of life and givingness. In spiritual mind treatment for success, for right action, and for right compensation, we work to know that divine abundance is forever flowing into everything we do. We are guided by a divine intelligence and impelled to act on this guidance. While we do not expect someone to suddenly thrust a fortune upon us, we do expect that we shall be gradually led to something better and more abundant. We should expect a greater good than we have ever experienced, or than we have ever known of anyone experiencing. Divine abundance is forever manifesting in my affairs. I desire to do only that which is good and constructive, life-giving and expressing. Therefore, I know that I shall prosper in everything I do. I exist in limitless possibilities, and infinite good is right where I am. I believe that everything for complete self-expression is the law of my individual being. New thoughts, new ideas, new situations are forever unfolding before me. There are new opportunities for self-expression and for abundant life and love and happiness. This I expect, and this I accept. The Bible quote is, "For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened." And that is Luke 11:10. Which is quite a way to end the year of this. But I think that there was a line in there where he hit the nail on the head of what we teach. Because we don't teach how to get stuff. That's not the purpose of it. Sometimes that's what it sounds like. People walk into a Science of Mind center and, we're talking about manifesting parking spaces, and they're like, what? But what it is about being conscious and being awake and being aware and seeing what life is doing around us. Because sometimes what happens is we become that horse in the park pulling the carriage with the blinders on. It's like, okay, I'm going this way. I'm going this way, and I'm not looking to the left, and I'm not looking to the right. And sometimes that's a good thing. And sometimes we miss what is going on around us. So he says in this, towards the end, new thoughts, new ideas, new situations are forever unfolding before me. They're always unfolding before us. They're always unfolding around us. The question is, have we got our blinders on, or are we seeing the thoughts, the ideas, the guidance? Because that is frequently when we do a treatment. We talk about treat and move our feet. We talk about how things, how we want to be guided. But we can't just sit back and wait for it to come to us, because that's not the way this works. The way this works, it's like enlightenment. What do you do before enlightenment? You chop wood, carry water. What do you do after enlightenment? You chop wood and you carry water. So you do your treatment and then you carry on with your life. You continue to do all of the things that you were doing before, but you have opened up your consciousness to see things that were probably in your environment before, but now you're looking for them. Now you are looking for the good. And that right there, that's the secret. Look for the good and praise it. Quote from Emma, Curtis Hopkins, look for the good and praise it. The more good you look for, the more you will see. The more you see, the more there is. You want to see yellow elephants? Think about yellow elephants. That's the way this works. It is about being aware, about being conscious, and it's about going out and living your life. And as you live your life, you will see all of this amazing stuff that's always been there. But now you're looking for it. So, he just says, spiritual mind science cannot promise something for nothing. That's why we say treat and move our feet. Yes, we're going to do the treatment, and then we're going to go live our lives. It does not teach you that you can have anything you want, no matter what it is, or that you can't, that your thought can precipitate $1 million. It doesn't teach that you can have anything you want, no matter what it is. It does teach that you can have anything you want within the nature of. It does, however, teach, and it can demonstrate that a betterment of circumstances and conditions and relationships can be brought about through spiritual mind treatment. Sometimes the only thing we have control over is our own thoughts. We are in a situation and there is nothing that we can do. But we can change the way we're thinking about the situation. We can look for the good in the situation. We can look for the little things that we can do to help and to support and to just be there. And that really, honestly, right there is the definition of a good friend. You know, a good friend can't come in and fix all your problems, but they can listen. They can be there. So where our power is in our response. Our power is in our response. Our power is in our thoughts. Our power is in our feelings. And once we awaken the consciousness within, then we see things that we didn't see before. So yeah, we may still be in a big mess, but we start to see the little things that we can do. And we can gradually pull the threads out of the knot. And eventually the knot's going to disappear because we are paying attention. Oh, and relationships? Oh, that's the easy one. It's like, you treat people different differently, your relationships are going to change. You treat people consciously, your relationships are going to change. We believe that the great intelligence of the universe cannot lack for anything, or that it can't. Okay, we believe that the great intelligence of the universe cannot lack for anything, or that it can plan for its creation to lack what expresses its own being. That's an awkward sentence. I'm sorry. But I think what he's saying is the universe can't lack for anything, and it cannot plan for its creation, meaning us, meaning life, meaning the material world. It can't plan for us to lack anything either. That is not within its nature. Its nature is abundance. Its nature is creative. So it can't plan for this because it's like, that's not in its nature. So it plans for abundance. It plans a variety and a multitude of ways to provide that which we need for that expression. We just tend to walk through the park with our blinders on. And we don't see that there's this little way over here. Oh, and there's this little way over here. And these little ways gradually add up to the big way. We may be certain that the divine intends only good, only abundance for its creation because it is the very essence of life and givingness. That is its nature. In spiritual mind treatment, for success, for right action, and for right compensation, we work to know that divine abundance is forever flowing into everything we do. So we know that the divine abundance is there. We know it, and then we start to look for it. And we start to look in places we hadn't looked before. It may be right in front of our nose, but just over here. And that little bit makes a difference. But now that we're looking for it, we'll see it. We are guided by a divine intelligence and impelled to act on this guidance. And that's where it is. It's like, okay, all right, universe, I am ready. Send me the guideposts. I am now looking for the guideposts. The guideposts have been there the whole time, but now I'm ready and I am looking for them. While we do not expect someone to suddenly thrust a fortune upon us, we do expect that we shall be gradually led to something better and more abundant. We are looking for the guideposts now, and that's the difference. Before, we were just plodding along doing our job, and now we're like, our head is up, our eyes are open, our heart is open, and we're going, all right, let me go this way. Because it's been there the whole time, but today is the day that I noticed it. Let me try this. Let me say this. Let me, try this today. It's like, oh, that looks interesting. We should expect a greater good than we have ever experienced or than we have ever known of anyone experiencing. Expect the good. And then accept the good. Divine abundance is forever manifesting in my affairs. I desire to do only that which is good and constructive. I desire to stay within the nature of the divine, which is good and constructive. Okay, so I desire to do only that which is good and constructive, life-giving and life-expressing. The secret is to stay within the nature of the divine. Think of all of those qualities that he has listed over the year. The creativity, harmony, unity, peace, joy, love. He says constructive, life-giving. When we are working in that nature, and that doesn't mean we don't take things apart, because things have to come apart for us to build them back up into something new. So it's part of the process. But it is part of the process in making it better. So stay in the nature of. Stay awake and stay in the nature of. Therefore, I know that I shall prosper in everything I do, because I am working within the nature of good. I exist in limitless possibilities, and infinite good is right where I am. I exist. You exist in limitless possibilities. You just have to be willing to look around. And it means you have to be willing to try something new. And it means that you have to be willing to fail. But failure isn't failure if you learn something. It's just another lesson on the road. And it gets you one step closer to what you actually want. Either by learning, okay, I need to try this a different way, or, oh, this isn't what I want. But I learned this, and I can take this over here and try this. A master has failed more times than an apprentice has tried. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Failure is, you hear that failure is not an option. Yeah, failure is an option, because failure is a way that we learn. Don't beat yourself up. Take the lesson and move on with it. I've learned a lot of things that I'm not good at. I believe that everything for complete self-expression is the law of my individual being. Say that to yourself every morning when you get up. New thoughts, new ideas, new situations are forever unfolding before me. There are new opportunities for self-expression and for abundant life and love and happiness. I expect this and I accept this. And there it is. I expect it, which means I'm looking for it. And I accept it, which means I'm willing to try. And that's it. That's it. The universe will give us anything we want within its nature. But we got to be willing to open our hearts, open our minds, and open our consciousness, and open our eyes, and look around. So chop wood, carry water, but be open to the possibilities. Take your blinders off. Take your blinders off. Because there is an amazing world around us all the time. All the time. And that's why I swiped that quote from him. Open the windows of your soul and allow that breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven now. Because heaven is all around us. It's a conscious shift. It's a conscious shift in perspective to see it. And yeah, it's messy. And it's noisy. And it's chaotic. But it's good. And we just got to keep pulling at the good. Keep pulling at the good. Keep making the good bigger. All right. Our mission, should we choose to accept it? Oof. Our mission, should we choose to accept it? I think it's to know that divine abundance is forever flowing into everything we do. And that's that shift. That's that shift. Knowing that the divine abundance is there. And then opening up and recognizing it, seeing it, taking our blinders off. All right, beloveds. That is 1 year of 365 Science of Minds. I've done slightly more than 365 of these little videos in the morning. A year of daily wisdom from Ernest Holmes. And Lisa. All right, beloveds. As I said, if this book speaks to you, I have archived all of these on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. So please feel free to go back and look them up. I'm still missing a couple of days in September. For whatever reason, a couple of those files were huge. And October, but they'll be up within the next month or so. So they're all there. And then we will move on tomorrow to the new book. So do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like to you today. All right? You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased always and forever. That is the state of grace that we live in. Because as Ernest said today, the divine cannot imagine lack for us. That's not within the divine's nature. The divine's nature is loving, abundance, creativity, and it behooves us to act that way, to act creative, to act abundant, to act good, compassionate, kind, unity, harmony, peace. When we do that, the universe unfolds in front of us. So, all right, I'm going to move into the process of my day. It is Wednesday, which means on Facebook Live, Reverend David will be on around 5, and there is a book study happening at 6. I believe it's on Zoom. If you're interested in that, email info@creativelife.org, and that will get you can get that link. You can also sign up for that email and find out what we're up to all the time. So do what you need to do to have a wonderful day. Drink some water. And if you're in our area, don't get wet. Or go dance in the rain. You know? We are having that springtime where opening the windows is a good thing. So, outside of the pollen. Have a wonderful day and know that you are loved.